unable to bear the pain.
Get to this occurrence of these unfortunate and unprecedented events. It's a new beginning that should nurture the culture of consultation and engagement. The President, in his own admission, has listened to the people. It is also, this should be the norm, listening to the people. I'm on record for the last 3 years as a truthful and an honest man. I must acknowledge that we must have communicated our intentions effectively, yet many have an opinion. It is time. I am an elected Deputy President by my belief. Components of leadership. We have lost lives, property. Where did the rain begin to beat us? Where did we stop listening to the people? President William Ruto and I were the darling of the Kenyan people. By listening to them, by engaging them. And as a government, we have established institutions to ensure we not only listen to Kenyans, but also genuinely understand their concerns. We invest significant resources in these institutions, particularly the National Intelligence Service, for this purpose. It is clear there has been a failure in the intelligence and advice we are receiving, particularly concerning crucial government policies. The President of the Republic of Kenya today has admitted that it has come to his attention that the people of Kenya did not want anything to do with the Finance Bill 2024. The President has now agreed that we need to listen to the people. And I sympathize with my boss, President William Ruto, because this information was not 2 months ago that the people of Kenya did not want anything to do with the Finance Bill 2020. His parliamentary party to push it through. We have an organization paid by the public to give him and government such information. And that is where the problem is. We have a dysfunctional National Intelligence Service that has exposed the President, the government, and the people of Kenya. Had the National Intelligence Service briefed the President 2 months ago about how the people of Kenya feel about the Finance Bill 2024, so many Kenyans would not have died. Property would not have been destroyed. Offices would not have been touched. There would have been no mayhem. But they slept on the job. It had to take people to die, property to be destroyed, protests across the country for the President to know the truth of what the people of Kenya feel. Yet, there is an organization paid for by the public to brief the President and the government about the feeling of the Kenyan people. Officers of the National Intelligence Service, officers of the National Police Service have told me in confidence they did not get advanced intelligence briefs about the magnitude of the protest in Eldoret, in Kericho, in Nairobi, in Githurai, in Embu, in Nyeri. Since independence, there has been protests around Parliament. Never have protesters invaded and gotten inside Parliament. Senior officers have told me in confidence they did not have an advanced intelligence brief about the intensity of the protest so that they prepare in advance. The National Intelligence Service slept on the job. And the problem is simple. The Director General of the National Intelligence Service, Nuruddin Haji, was a junior officer in the National Intelligence Service before he was appointed as DVP. When he was appointed to the office of the Director General, because of inferiority complex, he chased away all the people who were senior to him when he was in the service, therefore crippling the capacity of that service and making it dysfunctional. 3 directors were chased away and reassigned to desk jobs in ministries across government. 13 assistant directors, men and women with proven track record of intelligence collection and analysis, were removed from the National Intelligence Service, leaving a shell under a clueless Director General who has no capacity to run the organization. And that is why the security sector was caught off guard by the intensity, the anger of the Kenyan people, the agitation of the Kenyan people, the resilience of the Kenyan people. Had Nuruddin Haji done his job, we will not be where we are today. He has no capacity. He is out of the country most of the time on business trips. The country is on his own. My boss, President William Ruto, is exposed. That he has to back down, and at the this matter has been in public domain for the last 2 months. I want to say that Nuruddin Haji must take responsibility for the deaths for the mayhem. He must take responsibility for failing President William Ruto. He must take responsibility, General. I want to request President William to consider, as a matter of urgency, to recall the 3 directors. President William Ruto deserves better. He deserves a national intelligence service and that can analyze situations and keep him and the government informed. That it has taken protests, deaths, many for the truth, yet there is an organization charged with that responsibility. Kenyans are free to criticize the government without fear of reprisal and state when we were sworn in. I want to call upon overzealous heads of security agencies to manage politics. Let us manage the way through consensus and concurrence. I am informed that members of parliament will use the justice system to manage politics. I want to say that the son of the Honorable Attorney General of Kenya, Justin General of the Republic of Kenya, what will happen to other Kenyans? I want to ask our law enforcement agencies to dignify the President of Kenya, that we shall never again use the criminal justice system to manage politics. Yesterday, Nuruddin Haji was trying to put up a team together. I included former President Uhuru Kenyatta and others. Yet it is very clear, and the President has admitted, 2024. I want to call on the National Intelligence Service not to take us to the Nyayo era, where you create propaganda and schemes to undermine leaders and those you don't agree with. I want to say this is a time for reflection and action. To engage the Generation Z, and I want to call that generation to tell us whom to engage, because they are leaderless, they are tribeless. Temptation among some young people around us in government to pick some friendship and the love for their motherland. to come up with a structure on how they can engage government in accordance with what President William Ruto has guided this afternoon. In view of this country, I want to appeal to Generation Z to call off the protests. There was a disconnect, and the president has done the right. I think it's only fair that the president has given in and accepted to go with the will. Please, my sons and daughters, on how to work on our country. Finally, a plan on how to help those families that lost, those who are dead. We help those who are in hospital, not to punish members of parliament for the stand that they took. Government has a program in parliament and decides it is good for the people. I want you to punish our members of parliament. They just did what is right. Allow them to support their government, because that's why they were as members of the government party. Let us not harass them. Let us not what the government wanted. And now that the government has decided to do the right thing, I think we should close that chapter or affirm he or her by electing. And if we do that, it will be good for this country. I also want to ask the president to consider houses that had plans built on land with title deed were demolished and unfair. Let us consider the house that had been approved by the city authorities for compensation, because and ask the people of Kenya to keep peace and to love one another. Now that this matter of Finance Bill 2024 has been settled, let us not burn our country because of disagreements on two places. As Deputy President and Principal Assistant to President, I want to affirm to the people of Kenya that I will continue helping the President to discharge his duties in the management of the affairs of this country. I'll continue giving him proper and sound advice. People have been very unhappy with me for saying things that say the truth. But I'll keep on saying the truth. I'll keep on being, because that is what the people of Kenya expect me to do. Thank you very much and good evening. Asanteni sana.